Hello, my name's David Mixner, and it's been a while since I've seen you. Happy Gay Pride. It's the last of June, so we're ending the month, and what an exciting time New York was. It was, the New York Times said over 2 million people, spectators, and 100,000 marched. And I got to tell you, for the last week, there's been nothing but parties, events, and receptions throughout the city. So I am happy to be here with you, and this is Dakota, and he's been celebrating nonstop. Today I want to do my 5 movies that I think you probably haven't seen but should see. And as we're getting into the last 2/3 of the summer season, you have time to see at least 2 or 3 of them. And this isn't movies necessary that will fill your gay card, LGBTQ plus card, but I'll make a few recommendations at the end to do that. The first movie I want to talk about is Battle of Algiers, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Came out in 1966, was nominated for Best Foreign Film, Best Director, Best Screenplay. It deals with the events between 1954 and 1957, when there was a battle for Algiers. The partisans looking for independence from France. Algiers had a huge French population that had resettled in Algeria, and it is a morally ambiguous movie about, at one moment you're rooting for the insurgents, and the next movement you're appalled about what the French are doing, and the next moment you're just saying, no wonder terrorism gets a bad name because of some of the terrorist acts that happen are just appalling. It is a movie that is picked as number 22 on the best movies of all time list, and it is used as training in a war college to teach people how to win a war against terrorism, but not to lose the war of ideas. It is a must-see movie for you to understand in more complexity the world that we live in today. And it's by far my favorite movie. The second one I want to share with you is a little bit just the opposite. Instead of the raw black and white terrorism of Battle of Algiers, there's the black and white romanticism of Mrs. Miniver. Churchill said of this movie that won Best Film in 1942. It got 6 Academy Awards as a matter of fact. Churchill said that this film did more to end and rally the British people to end the war than all of his speeches. Probably no greater compliment could be paid to a movie than for Churchill to say that. It was the highest grossing film in 1942. It centers on a family during the Battle of Britain to Dunkirk. It is extraordinarily well acted with Walter Pidgeon and Greer Garson. Greer Garson won Best Actress and has the distinguishment of that actress that she gave the longest Academy Award acceptance speech in history. It's number 40 in the all-time great films. It's moving. It's a tearjerker. Get your tissues out. But it is not what I would call a deep foreign film, but a film that is made for the times, that rallied the times, and is extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. Some fine acting, some unbelievable scenes, and it takes you right into the heart of what it must have been like in England during the Blitz. My third movie is Dr. Zhivago, which was made from a novel by Boris Pasternak, a Nobel Prize winner, one of my favorite writers. It's directed by David Lean, and it was made in 1965. And I picked this one because there has to be at least one epic. We have Ben-Hur, 10 Commandments, epic films that especially were made in the 50s and 60s. This film is the 8th highest grossing film of all time. It is an extraordinary, beautiful love story set against the Russian Revolution, starring Omar Sharif and Julia Christie. You probably know the Music Laura's theme. That is the soundtrack from this film. It got 10 nominations and won 5 Oscars. It lost Best Picture to Sound of Music, but it was and is a beautifully, intelligently told. The landscape is captured perfectly, and it's got a powerful message behind it. So be sure to watch Dr. Zhivago for your epic film of the week. My next film is Badlands, directed by Terrence Malick and cinematography by Terrence Malick. It was made in 1973. It was not a hit when it was made. In fact, it didn't do very well at the box office. But it was one of Terrence Malick's first films. And I'm a Terrence Malick fan. And I don't know of a film that I have seen in my lifetime that has got more beautiful cinematography than this film. It's based on a true story about Charlie Starkweather and Carol Ann Friedrich, who became serial killers on a spree across the Badlands of South Dakota, Nebraska, Wyoming, and brilliantly acted, brilliantly filmed. It has become a real cult movie for people who love cinema, and it's entertaining. It is Martin Sheen became a star because of this film. It was one of Sissy Spacek's first films, and I can't urge you enough to go see Badlands. Now, for my final film, I had to film one that I think is a gay cult item, and also one that is funny as hell. I have seen this film 6 times, and I have laughed and laughed and laughed every time. It is a John Waters film called Serial Mom. Many of you have seen Hairspray, but I don't think many of you have seen Serial Mom. It's directed by John Waters and has Kathleen Turner and Sam Waterston and Ricky Lapin. And it is just extraordinarily funny. Kathleen Turner gives a perfect performance in this, and it's like right up there with What's Up, Doc. I can't stop laughing watching this film. And again, it didn't make its money back, but if you're gay and you want to laugh and you want to, well, gay or straight, it is a funny film. And so I urge you to go see it. Finally, I want to give some honor mentions, 2 films to make sure you get your gay card. One is All About Eve, starring Bette Davis, and the other's Annie Mame, starring Rosalind Russell. If you have time, you must see them. If you are a gay man and hasn't seen either film, shame on you. And finally, if you want to understand the war and the type of slaughter and uselessness war brings to this, watch the film Gallipoli. Well, those are some suggestions for summer viewing. You can find most of them on the sites like Amazon or Netflix. I really strongly urge you to do that. I also urge you to please subscribe. It really does make a difference on who sees this. It helps me a lot, and it just means you have to click a goddamn button. So come on, do it. Finally, I want to say that I'm gravely disappointed that the Russian stuff ended so early this week, because I had planned to watch it all week long. But glory be to Ukraine. Our support still goes out to you no matter what happens in the world. Glory be to the Ukraine.